Hello and welcome to Walk the Talk. I am Shekhar Gupta with two very unusual guests. Father and son Ricci, Stefano and Niccolo, founder and now the caretaker and leader of the Stefano Ricci brand. And what am I doing with you guys? I'm trying to have some fun and learn about brands and fashion from you, something I know nothing about. You want me to teach you something about Indian politics, I shall do so gratis.
If you could give a key to understand what about our politics in Italy, because we are completely lost.
Well, I mean, don't say that in New Delhi, because somebody will tell you that you Italians are partly to blame for our politics as well.
We just arrived this morning.
You know the Italian connection to Indian politics?
No,
Our main opposition party is
no,
led by somebody of Italian origin.
Yes, but you took one of the most beautiful and charming lady from Italy.
Yes.
This is Sonia Kapoor.
Sonia Gandhi.
Sonia Gandhi, excuse
Right.
me. And Italy is not anymore as before. But we are proud of having one Italian testimonial in your country.
Yeah. Have you met her?
Only in one party many years ago.
Many years ago.
Yeah.
And Niccolo, have you met Mrs. Gandhi or,
I didn't get a
Rahul?
chance.
You didn't get a chance.
He is young.
He's young. He has time.
At time.
She's young too, I don't say that she got upset.
But Stefano, if I may call you that, he almost didn't get this chance in Delhi on a
Yeah,
plane.
it's true.
Yes.
I remember there are some dates that you don't never forget. One is the date of the birth of the mother-in-law, which is you cannot forget. Yes.
Mother-in-law's birthday.
Yes, birthday. It was
That too Italian mother-in-law.
absolutely.
Right.
September 29, 1979, when during a storm, we landed in a crash, I would say. I was with an Alitalia DC-10, and we coming from Hong Kong.
I remember that flight, Hong Kong, Delhi, Rome.
Exactly.
In fact, I've taken it from Hong Kong to Delhi a few times.
Exactly. It was 27 hours in those years
Right.
from Hong Kong to Italy.
Right.
But it happened that we landed out of the airstrip, and we went through the airplane with sliding.
Emergency shoots.
Exactly. But you know, I was here for 1 week.
1 week?
1 week.
Why?
Because if you look historically in those days, Iran had the idea of having the revolution.
Just then.
Exactly. So the aircraft from Italy could not refuel. Nobody could refuel in Iran. So we were here, but I enjoyed it. Also my luggage was on the aircraft. My passport were
Also on the
held by your security. So I landed in Italy after 1 week, looking, I cannot say looking exactly like an Indian, but wearing your white clothing that I was buying from here, from market.
That was India's revenge. And now,
Exactly.
now it's the Italian revenge. You're trying to get Indians into your clothing.
Yeah, we are trying hard
Ah.
because Indians know a lot about clothing, a lot about material.
I'm the wrong person.
Yeah, but one day I will educate you too. You know, if you shouldn't be too difficult.
It shouldn't be too
It
difficult.
shouldn't be too difficult. But anyway, we are proud, me and my son,
Yes.
of one fact. We are different from all the Italians. Both of us, we have never seen a football match in our life.
That is, you're almost, I can call you traitors to Italian football.
If our team wins, we're very happy. You know?
Yes.
We follow up.
We have nothing against, but we prefer to spend a Sunday in our house in the country with my grandchildren, with a few friends, and instead of being with thousands of people around us, but even in the television.
But your team is not doing very well these days for some time.
No, Fiorentina.
No, but you will see, it's going to be a big comeback. We always say the Italian national team. Fiorentina is our local team.
Yes, absolutely. You are from Florence.
I know you spoke with my friend Roberto Cavalli, and he knows a lot about football.
Football, yes. So we mostly spoke about football. Covered for me. So, Niccolo, you're trying to sell this very high fashion, very expensive clothing in India. You think India is ready for a market like that?
I came in India the first time for a wedding over 10 years ago, and I met a lot of people interested in fashion. I was
What
Mumbai,
wedding was this?
Was the Mehta wedding, and
It must be diamond Mehtas.
for sure. But diamonds everywhere during the party.
Yeah.
But a lot of people were already our clients from London, from Paris, from New York. So there was a lot of enthusiasm around the brand and a lot of questions. So we felt that, as we have now in Mumbai, to open a shop inside the Hotel Taj would have been very good move. And today, having here at the Oberoi Hotel, our second store here in Delhi, we're very proud. Because it was a project that started a few years ago, and finally to have the two main cities in India with our boutiques makes us very proud.
So is there something you will do for your Indian customers that you don't do elsewhere?
Absolutely.
What is that?
Well, the same style that you are wearing here, which is quite chic, by the way. You know,
I flaunt my friend Raghavendra Rathore.
you have a future as a model, you know, in Italy.
Yes,
Well,
absolutely.
yes.
I mean, I'm man waits in hope.
I like that.
If you have me on one of those big windows in Florence or Milan, it'll be something, yes.
We'll have a meeting regarding that with your permission.
Absolutely.
We will try to make you as famous in Italy, in Europe, as famous as you are in
I'll speak with
India.
my agent.
Super.
So coming to India, India has many difficulties doing your kind of business, isn't it? There is customs, there is import, there is space.
Is to establish a company here for a foreigner company, whatever is fashion or whatever, is bureaucracy is makes things quite difficult.
We had some sleepless nights to
Give us some examples on what kind of difficulties.
No, the difficulty was like it took us a very long time to get the license in order to do the retail operation. So maybe we were ready with the shop, with the merchandise, and we had to wait for the official documents to start. But at the end they arrived, and even if we had some sleepless night, now we are pleased and running the both operations.
It is worth it. And some of the merchandise you have, how do you get around very strong Indian laws on leather, on say crocodile?
No, we have
skin?
CITES. We have in our office in Italy.
CITES certificate.
We have 3 people working only on CITES. Well, not 24/7.
So just explain CITES to a lot of our viewers.
Absolutely.
CITES is a document that international government needs in order to export and move merchandise on the appendix of CITES. Of course, there are some items some quotas for state, and mainly for us is the crocodile.
So this is legally and legitimately produced animal products, which are then allowed to be imported.
Exactly.
There are many few different kind of crocodile. There is the Niloticus, the African one. There is the New Guinea from New Guinea, which is only wild, cannot be breeded. There is the Porosus from Australia, and we do have we are shareholder of a company in Australia that is breeding the most expensive but the most beautiful quality of crocodile, which is the Porosus.
And those are used for farming, even for meat.
The meat of the croc needs to feed the other croc.
I see.
Yes.
It's kind of a complicated
issue, yes.
Right.
But they eat a lot
so
of
how
fish.
big is this farm?
We produce something like 3,000 crocs a year. But many of them we keep for reproduction.
Right. And so
if you want to visit the farm one day, we can use you as a bait for the croc. Somebody will be happy, maybe.
A crocodile will not find that much to eat in Mumbai.
Yeah, that is the problem. Yeah.
That is the problem. But this means that the numbers of crocodiles are maintained. So there is no loss of the species.
No, there is like millions of crocodiles around the world. There is like the one, every state generates its own quota, and with CITES, everything, the export of the skin is controlled by the government.
So how difficult was it to explain this to Indian authorities?
No, they were already knew about it. So it was, yes, it was a process, of course. Every time in CITES is longer because you need your government to produce document to talk to your government, and then you need a lot of paperwork. But at the end, we can deliver, you know, our crocodile briefcase, our crocodile shoes, or our crocodile belts.
So, what is distinctive about your clothing? I mean, I'm asking you, and I'm asking you with this sort of smirk because I am so not knowledgeable about clothing.
Prego.
You know, it's so difficult to...
All the easy questions he's letting you answer.
It's so difficult to say how good we are because I'm not used to lie. You know?
Right,
so,
absolutely, yes. No Italian ever tells a lie.
No.
So I think
Only
it's
to
we start
mother-in-law we lie. You know that.
We start with the raw material. So whatever you feel, whatever you touch, you feel there is a big research behind it. The finest quality in cloth for wool and cotton and silk. It's a big research. He started with my mother in 1972. It's a big research that's never ending. So every season we always put ourselves in a situation where we have to start again and find something that gives an emotion to our clients.
So this is a brand built in one generation. You built it.
No, but they are developing quite
Yes.
well. Huh?
Yes. So 72.
Let's say 1.5 generation.
Yes. But you founded it.
Yes.
Yes. So take us back to 1972. How do you think of a brand? And there was always a famous Ricci brand, Nina Ricci.
Yes, and for the first years it was quite, a lot of people was asking, are you related with Nina Ricci?
Is she your aunt?
Yes, but she was in, she moved to France.
Yes.
From some places not far from Florence, and she was a real talented lady, but she is famous for lady.
Yes.
And we never touched the ladies' collection. Is a block of my mind that we have to serve
Only men.
only gentlemen, and we don't want to be mixed up with the ladies' collection. We are focused on quality on men's clothing. In another way, we don't select the clothing from the makers. We design and have the makers producing our clothing many times, very often with our yarn. And that makes a little difference.
And how big or how small were you when you started?
Oh, started with 20 people, 18 people, 18 ladies that I took from my father's factory that was in the ladies' clothing business.
I see.
And he was very cross with me because I wasn't interested into taking over his company. So I told him, what I can do is to move some of your people and use for
men's clothing.
For men's clothing. I started with ties, and then after with shirts. Until now, today we are. No, but how many employees do
600 people.
600 people.
Yeah.
So when he started, he did not carry forward his father's women's line and shifted to men. So would you now think of shifting to women or at least adding women?
I think our mission is in our DNA is to do men's clothing, and I think it's better to try to be the best in something than to be good in multiple things.
But we are devoted to ladies' beauty.
That I can see in your eyes. But your eyes light up when you talk of ladies. But
don't tell mommy, huh? What do you say? This interview is never going to be.
We shall make sure your mom watches it.
We cut it.
So,
mom, big boss in production. We still have mom as the big boss.
She's the big boss. So, why are you fixated on men's fashion? You could do a lot more business if you did women.
Yes, but I will not enjoy life with my family. You know, we have a great hobby, which is racing vintage cars.
Racing vintage cars.
We race the Mille Miglia. We have some international race that And the pleasure is to be involved, all the family to be involved in the same interests. But there is one issue. When we are having dinner in one of our houses, we never speak about business.
Oh,
It's not easy, eh?
it's not easy, yeah.
Yeah, we speak about our grandchildren, and his daughter is Jewel, is Aurora. She is 3 years old.
Ah.
And my other son is Stefanino, and little Stefano, and he is 6 years old. And I think that for a grandfather to see two sons working in the company that has been started by us and is carrying our name, is a family name, is a good feeling. And I hope it's not going to be the second generation, but I hope also that
It will carry on.
Carry on, yes. This is one
From
of
our side, of course, we're continuing with the men's clothing, but especially as a project of my brother, we enter in the interiors, so decorating homes with our furniture, our porcelain line, the crystal line, and in
Yachts.
yachts, of course.
Yachts.
And 9 years ago, we bought this company in Florence, founded in 1786, which is producing amazing fabrics for interiors. We have looms
I
from
see.
1700, 1800, and we have a warper designed by Leonardo da Vinci that is still working.
I see.
So we are producing this amazing fabric for interiors. So our idea is to give in a gentleman's word.
I think you can pick up
before.
anything in Florence and say Leonardo da Vinci.
Okay. No, but that is special. We have the project designed by him.
You have a
this
certificate.
year is the year of 500 years of Leonardo da Vinci
Yeah.
that we are also celebrating.